Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, and this is the pre-market analysis of QOL trading. If you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and then hit that thumbs up button like this video for me. Also, if there's any levels or of any equity that I do not cover and you'd like me to cover, leave a comment down below. I'll be glad to go over them. I do not do penny stocks though. And also go down to the link below and you can join our website subscription for our newsletter that we put out every Sunday, going over the market review and what's to expect in the week ahead with economic data, geopolitical news, as well as, of course, all the levels from the broader markets to crypto to the Mag 7 stocks, and then, of course, our Tesla stuff. So, anyways, getting into it right now, let's go over economic data for today. Weekly unemployment change. This is a revised number here, so I don't think that's going to do anything. I think the market's maybe a little weak today, though. I would not be surprised if a little sell-off. Tomorrow is the big day, the first big day. You have core CPI month over month and year over year before the market opens, and then you have crude inventories at 9:30. Crude is elevating a little bit right now, so that's probably putting a little pressure on the market. On Thursday, we have core PPI month over month, and then unemployment claims as well. There is some Fed speak as well before the market opens. And then there's an interesting number here. I think this is, they have a yellow folder here. I think this should be more of an orange mortgage delinquency number. That'll come out tomorrow, Thursday rather. And then Friday, we ended up with core retail sales and then University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay, let's get into it. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. We're looking at the VIX right now. The VIX is still, it's soft right now, which is good, below the 20, sitting at $17, $17.08. And then the 50 is sitting right above it. So as long as we're below these moving averages, it's pretty good. We still have this little gap up here from last Friday at 1491 that could do a little housekeeping and fill for us. So we'll see what happens. There is some, definitely every day there's something going on with Iran, and I think that's getting a little more focused than it was. The market was kind of shrugging off all of those things. And the reason I say that is we're now looking at oil right now. So oil got closed this gap down here at $85.34 a barrel. There's still a couple more gap downs here, one at $90.40 a barrel from July 24th. And then from May 22nd, we have one at $96.99. On the downside, though, we do have a gap up here at $71.63 from July 10th. So, the market likes to do some housekeeping. So hopefully we hit the upper end first, and then we finish with the downside, so it impacts our pocketbooks correctly. The EAS right now, it's hovering on Friday's high, 77.86.75. Going to have to hold that in order to continue to push higher. If you get above 78.20.25, which is, I believe it was Wednesday's highs, then I think you could start pushing. That was all-time highs, I think. Yeah, I think it was. So I'd have to change that. 78.20.25 all-time highs. If you can get above, I'll hold that. I don't have anything, obviously. It's uncharted territory until we get to about 80,060. You will get some headwind if once you get to the 8,000 level. If you do push up there, it's a psychological number. So if it does push up into 8,000, I would be surprised if you do not get a reaction to the downside from that 8,000 number. Or you can see, though, we're well above our moving averages there. You have the 20 sitting at 75.80, 96. And then you have the 50 that's sitting right on this previous all-time high at 75.40. I would actually like to see a pullback down to 76.32.25 for a pretty decent long. There's a bunch of different ways you can play it. If you're holding Friday's high, you can take a long maybe into Wednesday's high. You get a break and hold above Wednesday's high. I don't really have any price targets on the upside, but you can see right here this little speed zone right now. This could definitely get up there in a hurry. Any kind of economic data, but that on this, but that being said, you have some big speed zone that came up on the way up here, right? So you have to watch. I would say this low here from, I believe this is Friday's low. So Friday's low, if you lose Friday's low, 77.43.50, I think you can push down to 76.32. and change. Let's look at the SPY. SPY is doing the same thing here. Friday's high 773.89, 776.85 is the high from Wednesday. So kind of trading in that little zone right there. I would say that same thing here. Speed zone here up to 776.85 on the upside, and on the downside here, if we lose 767.75, I think we flush to 760.40. It was a previous all-time high, so I do like that level. But also to keep in mind, we have a couple things down below us. We have an open point of control from June 4th at 757.70, and then below that we've got some gap ups here. We've got a gap up here at 744.55, and that was from the end of July. And then it would probably, so if you did flush down here, you have our 20-day moving average 751.37, and then the 50 sitting at 747.56. So for me, these are, if you're patient, and you should be patient as a trader, these are your ideal longs, right? But you could play it a bunch of different ways, right? This is the close from yesterday, 773.01, 03. If you hold above that, maybe you can take it up into the 776 area. But your risk reward for me, I don't think it's there for me. On the Nasdaq side, Nasdaq too. Finally, Nasdaq after last week finally got above these moving averages. So you can see we got above the 100-day moving average, sitting at 28,249, and then above the 20, it's sitting at 28,964. And now this week we are holding above the 50-day moving average, 29,521. So pretty decent levels here, I would say today. If you can hold this 29,783.54. You can push, and that is in Friday's highs, right at Friday's highs here. So break and hold above 29,855. I think you can push into 30,000 level pretty quickly here. We do have, we did not quite come down here and fill these speed zones here. The market was definitely giving you some support here. So this is pretty good if you hold the 50. I would like us to hold the 50 today. So if we do flush out, the 50 will probably be a decent level. But if not, I would say this level right here between 29,243 all the way up to 29,337, that's going to give you some decent support if you hold there. If you do get a break, if you do pop and the market gets some acceleration and you get a hold above 30,074, then I think you start making your ways back to all-time highs. I really don't have anything here to give us some resistance. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to go straight up, but as far as being comfortable with your longs, 30,693 is the previous all-time high. So we got some room to move on the upside if the market gets a little positive news and acceleration there. So let's get into the Qs right now. Qs, same thing on the Qs. We're well above the 20 at 700 and change, and now we are above the 50 at 714.27. So pretty decent there, pretty decent levels there. I do not have any open point of controls for us, so I would say the same thing. Got to get a hold above this 723.50, which is Friday's high. If you get a hold above that, I think you can push into this July 10th high at 726.39. But there's a bunch of levels here that could give you some resistance here. But if you can push through all these levels, they're going to become support for you, right? And then if you get above this, lastly, the 737.43 level, I don't have anything until you get back to the all-time high, 748.65. And then if you get above that 748.65, I won't have anything until you get up here to the 800 level, right? Okay, that's about it. Let's get into the Mag 7. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video for me. I appreciate it. NVIDIA right now, NVIDIA is kind of consolidating here a little bit. You've got Thursday's high here at 223.63. You can see it rejected it. So I would say NVIDIA is a little weak right now, even though we are above the 20-day moving averages. So I would say for today, you're going to have to get a break and hold above 221.60 in order to push back into Thursday's high. And if you could get over Thursday's high, then maybe you can get a pop into Friday's high, which is 224.79. If you get above that, then I think you can start moving to the June highs at 235. Right, that's on the upside. On the downside, gotta hold yesterday's lows, 216.83. If you lose that, I think we flush down to not only this 214.39 level. I think probably these November highs here from last year, 211.34, which would give you some decent support there because we are still above the 20-day and the 50-day and the 100-day moving average, as well as the 200. So you're looking for pullback longs, right? Or if you can get a break and hold above certain levels, and you can get that push here. But you got to think about your risk reward type thing here, right? So Big sell off here yesterday, so big flush. So this could definitely retrace itself up into the 223.63 level. Okay, let's get into Apple here. Apple's looking weak here. So they created a nice little speed zone pre-market yesterday. So if you can get above the 50-day moving average at 309.70, I'd like us to push all the way back up into that 313 level, maybe up into this 314.97 level. See, we held this higher end regressional trend line that I have here from October of 2025. So that's your line in the sand. Got to hold that level, 307.66. I was actually saying yesterday I wouldn't mind a pullback into this 301.97 level. It's a 76.4% Fibonacci retracement. I like that level here, but you have to respect what's going on here, right? So it's still a little bit of a sell off here, but we did hold this level here. This is a key level here. It was a pre-market low that we had here on Tuesday, I believe. So it held that level pretty good. So that's positive for the upside. So maybe you can get this little fill from yesterday's pre-market here, right? Because not a lot of volume on this candle here. This is where your volume was. It was when the market opened, right? So you did have some significant sell-off yesterday morning. So I would say if you can get above this 50, then I think you can push back into that 13, the 50 sitting at 309.70. You could push back into that 313 level. Okay, let's get into what was that? Apple. Meta seems weak to me. We're below the 20 on the 100-day moving average, sitting at 609.18 and 608 respectively. We are hanging on in this midline regressional trend line that I have from October of last year. That's your line in the sand. If we are below this level, I'm not thinking long. As a matter of fact, we have some open point controls at 583.27. I would not, if I was looking to get long here, I like that level. Even the better level here is actually 572.24. It's June 23rd's high, right? A nice break and retest there. So you had some good flush here. The market did retrace this speed zone here. And same thing here. This is a pre-market speed zone, and boom, it got retraced immediately. Didn't really look too far out behind us here. However, we do have a nasty speed zone here. That's why I like this 527.24 here, because if you do lose that 578.24 level, then you can flush back down here, possibly to this lower end regression trend line here to 580, 559 and change. On the upside, I'm not thinking long unless you can get above this 50-day moving average at 598.95. If you get above that, 609.19 and change here will probably give you some headwind. It's 100 and it's sitting at the 120-day moving average. If you pop above that, then almost you probably get some headwind up here at 618.70, which is a low from May 23rd. Okay, let's get into Google. Google's got some pretty aggressive zones here. Beautiful speed zone here on Google. So I like Google if you can get above this 363.09 to push back into the 373.60. We are above the 100 and the 20-day moving average. 20 is sitting at 348.18, and the 100 is sitting just a little above that. If you pull back and lose those levels, I like these levels to pull back 344.12 to 341.98, which is the FOMC high when he was speaking here. So pretty nice speed zone here on the upside here. However, I think we have some more speed zones here on the downside as well. So if you do lose, I would say if you lose that 341.98, 333.69 is what I have there on the downside. Okay, let's get into Amazon. I think Amazon's a bit sloppy here. Amazon, nice level here if you can get above. Got to hold Friday's high 278.31. We're below that right now. If you get a pop and hold above that, I'd like us to push back into the 282 level. Right now it's failing. Line in the sand, got to hold 275.48. If you lose 275.48, 270.73 is my next level of support. And it's the low from August 5th. If you lose that low, then 262.07 is my next level that I have on the downside. Upside, if you can get above this 228.31 level, 278.31 level. I'd like us to push into yesterday's highs, 280.17. If you get above that, then, like I said, you can retrace this entire move that we had here on last Wednesday. Microsoft's strong, well above the 200 and the 20-day moving average, sitting down at 429 to 430 respectively there. If you get above 519.30, I'd like us to move into 555.45. I don't have really much there on the downside there. So I would say you're You got to hold this 506. You got to get above this 506 level. It's an October 2025 low. If you get above that, 519 is the next level. It's a September 2025 high. If you lose this, I would say if you lose yesterday's move, and I think you could come down here to this 493.50. I like this pullback long. You can see how it respected it here last Thursday. If the market pulls back there, it's a good break and retest for long. However, if you lose that, then you could pull back into June's high 472.21. That would be, if the market did flush, that would actually be an ideal long. But we do have some speed zones up here, over here that were created last week as well. So you got to watch those levels. Okay, let's go. SpaceX, I'm looking at Tesla, and we will get on with our day. SpaceX here. So if we had a little more liquidity, and I would love to be trading this, right? It just really respects all the levels here. So we have an open point of control above us at 148.04, and then you've got a high from July 14th at 143.33. Got some resistance here in pre-market yesterday, and it's trying to push higher. However, we do have some open point of controls, like an open point of control down here at 110.53. You're going to have to watch that level there. But you are getting a nice little push up. But this little purge up here, I'm not getting too excited about it yet right now. There's just not enough float for the stock to really continue that move, right? But like maybe if the market does flush a little bit, you lose this 129.22 level. This is an open point of control from Friday, actually. This would be a decent level of support, and if you lose that, you come back down here to this fill point of control at 123.61, which is sitting right above the 20-day moving average at 120.82. So it is pushing higher right now, but you have some levels up here they're probably going to give you a headwind. 143.33 and above that 148.04. You can see you got some resistance here yesterday, so that would be a level you're going to have to get above that 140 level. Okay, that's it for the Mag 7. Let's get over to Tesla. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video for me. I appreciate it. So let's go Tesla here. Tesla is, it's been grinding a little bit, but I'm not really sold on it just yet. Let's take a big holistic view of it right now. I hate when this does this to me, but it's in a second. Okay. So Tesla here, beautiful speed zone we have here from the day after earnings, right? And we are in it right now. I had it at this 126.36 level, right? So here are the keys for today. You must get over this 133.73 level. If you get above that, 137.24 is an April low, probably get some resistance there. But if you can get above that, 137.24, 337.24, then you push into 342.11, and then above that I've got really you can possibly push into 362.64. I'm not saying it's going to do it today, but just take a snapshot of these levels and trade off of these levels today. Okay, these are the levels that we're looking for. So I'm looking at this is also here, this is an open point of control. I know I have it marked as red, but I usually have it as yellow. But it's sitting right on the high from Monday, I believe it was. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I'm not getting enough rest. Pullback 329.57. I like that. If that holds here, you gotta get above this 332.05, yesterday's high, and then of course Friday's high 333.73. If you can break and hold above that, 337.24 is my next target on the upside, and then above that 342.11 would be the area for that target on the upside over there as well. So I would say right now it's trying to push higher and trying to hold, right? So this was a speed zone from the other day, and it just did not. This is from Friday, so it did hold these levels, and it held this level that I had on the charts here for probably a week, ever since the market sold off after earnings. 326.36 was my speed zone level, and you can see it held it like a champ yesterday. So we're in it right now, right? And so what is the speed zone for those of you that don't know? This becomes a speed zone. When you have a one directional move right here, this is a 4-hour chart we're looking at right now. Let me get it to a 15. There's some more room. So we're looking at a 15-minute chart. So 15, 30, pretty much you could call it 45, you could call it an hour of selling of one direction. When you get that one directional, this becomes then a speed zone. So now, right now you can't see it, but we're above, I have this level right here that if we got above it, it becomes the speed zone. 326.36 is the speed zone. So now we have some all different areas that you look back at. So you're probably 329.12. We're above that right now. So like I said, the key of where we're at right now, bring us to current. Got a hold 329.37. That's a point of control that's open from yesterday. You'll see that in a second here. I'll show us some point of controls. See, this is a point of control. It's also a high from the 4th. So I would not mind a pullback long there. Maybe get a little flush there. And then on the upside, I like the long if you can get above and hold 333.73. So where I'm looking long, break and hold above 333.73. Possibly here at this 329.57. If you lose that 329.57, maybe you come back down here to this 326.36. And if you lose that 326.36, then all bets are off and we are not in that speed zone. So this is your area right here. Hopefully we can get above that. You've got yesterday's high. You've got Friday's high. Friday's high is probably bigger than yesterday's high. So a couple lines in the sand there. So put these levels on your charts. We are below the 20-day moving average, also 340.14, and then you've got the 50 and the 100 and the 200 are well above us, 376 levels here, right? So point of controls, we do have also, now looking at this, we do have a point of control open here from last week as well, right? Oh, this is a big one. So I would say that, that point of control here makes me a little weary on filling that speed zone right now. So we'll see. Just got to see what the market gives you and trade off of the, when the market's showing you your price action, right? So watch those price action levels, watch your volume. Don't pay attention to the animation up here. You can pay attention down here. What are we going to do for today? Today we are going to do still tomorrow's expiration date. I have a 230 call strike price up here, which is expiring tomorrow on August 12th. And then I've got a 325 put, which is also expiring tomorrow as well. I'm going to leave that 325 put up there right now because I'm not really convinced that we're going to have a big push on the upside yet today. We could be just consolidating. So you could say, usually I don't like to trade premiums that are $1 in the dollar range. I like to trade them at least the $3 range. But we'll see what happens today. I think that, it's a good chance that the market flushes a little bit and this premium price will escalate a little bit on the put side here. So right now it's looking a little weak. So I am thinking puts on the, on the market open, but anything can happen, with the market, when it opens, right? Because right now we don't have the volume here. The volume is, I know this looks like a lot of volume, but it's not a lot of volume right now. I mean, it's only right now, what do you got here for shares? You got 4,500 shares traded, right? Nothing with Tesla. Anyways, all right, that's going to be it for today. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button for me, like this video. And if there's anything else that you want me to cover, drop me a note down there. Aside from that, I will see everybody in the trade room. If I don't see you there, I will see everybody tomorrow morning for the pre-market. Have a great day.